Welkom everybody, iedereen welkom. Ik zal voorlopig het even in het Nederlands doen. Vandaag stellen we onze twee nieuwe aanwinsten voor die we hebben binnengehaald in de wintermercato. Sami Kehli aan mijn linkerzijde en Thamsatchanan aan mijn rechterzijde. Ik ga even de procedure of het verloop van de persconferentie uitleggen. Beide spelers zullen zichzelf even aan de pers voorstellen in hun eigen taal. Dus dat zal wat betreft Sami in het Frans zijn. En Kawin zal niet in het Thais spreken, want dan gaan we er niet veel van begrijpen, maar gaat zijn best doen om in het Engels zichzelf wat voor te stellen. Nadien is er mogelijkheid om vragen te stellen. Ik en Nigel zullen die dan beantwoorden. Nigel wat betreft het sportieve gebeuren uiteraard. En nadien hebben jullie de mogelijkheid om de spelers vragen te stellen. Maar dat gaan we eerder informeel organiseren. Dus niet hier achter de tafel. Maar dat kunnen jullie dan eigenlijk via onderling contact organiseren. Ik denk dat we als club heel tevreden mogen zijn met deze twee nieuwe aanwinsten. Kawin is 27 jaar, Sami is 26 jaar. Dus dat zijn spelers die eigenlijk momenteel aan de top van hun carrière stilaan terechtkomen. En ik denk dat Sami al bewezen heeft afgelopen zondag hier tegen Union dat hij zeker in zijn hoedanigheid van creatieve middenvelder een meerwaarde kan zijn voor het team. Ik geef hem de kans om zichzelf even voor te stellen. Donc Sami, vous avez la parole pour se présenter toi-même.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Sami Kehli, je suis pour l'instant joueur de l'Occurrence. J'ai été prêté ici les 5-6 derniers mois à Louvain. Je viens de Metz. J'ai été formé à Metz depuis l'âge de 10 ans jusqu'à au moins 20 ans. J'ai joué dans l'équipe professionnelle du FC Metz. J'ai joué toutes les catégories à Metz. Et j'ai joué aussi un peu en Belgique à Virton, à Serein une année. Et l'année dernière, je jouais à Roulers, qui m'a permis d'avoir ce transfert vers l'Occurrence l'année dernière.
Merci Sami. Dan is het nu tijd voor Kawin Thamsatchanan. Dat zal een naam zijn die we hopelijk in de toekomst gemakkelijker gaan kunnen uitspreken, omdat het gewoon worden. Hij is in Thailand toch wel een van de bekendste profspelers die er zijn. 27 jaar, zoals ik al aanhaalde, kapitein van de Thaise nationale ploeg. En ik geef hem ook graag het woord om zichzelf aan het Belgische publiek voor de eerste keer voor te stellen. So Kawin, I will give you the word to presentate you to a Belgian audience.
Okay. สวัสดีครับ Good morning everyone. I'm Kevin Thamsatchanan. I'm pleasure to be here and very happy to be part of OHL team. So it's my ambition, always my ambition to play in Europe. So this is great opportunity for me. But I know there will be a lot of hard work ahead if I want to follow my dream and keep developing. And I watched last match from last Sunday. First, I want to say congratulations with the team. I saw a very good performance and very enjoy with OHL fans. And I'm looking forward to building a good relationship with them. And since King Power bought the club in Thailand, the people in Thailand very OHL team very popular in Thailand. So thank you, coach, and thank you, King Power, to give me a chance. I will try the best what I can and keep working hard to do the best what I can. Please support us. Thank you.
Thank you, Corinne. You speak already good English?
Thank you.
You did a fine job. Oké, dan zijn er nu mogelijkheden om vragen te stellen aan Nigel Pearson of mijzelf.
Ja, vooral door Corinne, de papieren moeten nog in orde gebracht worden, dus de en de arbeidsvergunningen en dat soort dingen. Gaat dat nog lang aanslepen of kan dat al teruggaan?
Ik heb begrepen dat de kans klein is dat dat al zou in orde zijn voor volgend weekend tegen Tubize. Dus we zullen trachten dat zo snel als mogelijk in orde te brengen, maar ik heb begrepen dat dat voor komend weekend slechts 1 kans op 10 zal zijn.
Mr. Pearson, when
Morning.
will Kevin be training for the first time? Has he to wait for the papers and things like that?
Yeah, everything's subject to work permits, so we've got to be patient in terms of when that happens. So really, until we get the clearance with the work permit, that's something that you'll just have to wait for. And I think for Kevin as well, that'll be a bit of a frustration, but it's legislation that we have to follow.
Was bringing goalkeeper this window a priority?
Not necessarily a priority, no, but as a manager, it's always good to get your first signings, and we're aware of Kevin's availability, and it's been facilitated by our owners. But I'm very pleased to have a very well-established international goalkeeper. He's got 62 caps for Thailand, so it's in terms of priorities, there are always areas that we're looking to improve on, and certainly in terms of getting Sammy in, we'd identified that looking for creativity was going to be one of our main priorities. But of course, it's not just about having an immediate impact, it's about building for the future as well. So for me, yeah, the priorities are to continue to get our squad into a shape which improves us in the short term, but looking forward as well, I don't want us to be just working in the immediate window. I want us to be looking to see how we build our squad over a period of time, and that's something where you have to be open-minded when opportunities come along which come out of, if you like, left field, and that's what this opportunity was to bring Kevin in. So it might be a surprise for a number of people. People might want to look at it and say, well, Thai national goalkeeper coming in, Thai owners, but for us, it's a bit of both. We have to look at also the quality that he brings in as well, and we believe he's a goalkeeper who can have an impact for us as well. But like every player, he'll have to fight for his place.
Could more people, players from Thailand, could come in?
There's a possibility for players to come in from anywhere. So I don't think you need to now expect an influx of lots of Thai players. That's not exactly what we're looking at. What we're always looking to do is bring players in who are going to give us something different. Kevin gives us more strength in the goalkeeping position, but we've already got a number of goalkeepers here who bring us quality at this level. But we'll have to see how he whether he breaks into the side or not. But in terms of how we further add to the squad, we're looking very much domestically here at the moment, but also trying to look in different markets as well. So any player that we bring in here, we bring in with a view to strengthening what we have in the short term, but also we need to be building for a longer term as well, and that's something that I've, along with Wim, will be working to do that.
De eigenaars van de club willen maar één ding, dat is winnen en de beste zijn. Dat is hun ambitie. Dus ze zullen uiteraard ook alleen maar spelers brengen die een meerwaarde zullen zijn voor het team.
En ze zullen zich misschien ook afvragen van, is dat een speler met het beste van de komende de zomer, kan dat opnieuw gebeuren eind januari?
Spelers van het niveau van Elliot Moore zijn altijd welkom uiteraard.
What was that? Did we last?
If it's possible that there are other players from Leicester who can come to the team.
It may be a possibility, but again, it's not something that is a situation that needs to be forced. You know, Elliot was available was made available for us before I actually came to the club. I'm very pleased we've got him. I mean, I think he's had an excellent season so far for somebody who, you know, is a young man. I think he's developed into a very strong player in this league. Now, it's obvious that there are ties between the two clubs, if you'll excuse the pun, but with that, it's not something that we need to force as well. It's something where, and Sammy's a very good example of us looking for players who are appropriate for us. I mean, you see his performance the other night in a very good team performance, and he added something very positive to the team straight away. So it's about having the ability to look in different markets, and that's something that we as a football club want to develop over time, so that we make the most of the domestic market. Because I think one of the things that we have as a strength of our squad at the moment is that we have a lot of homegrown players. We have a number of players who've come through our academy system as well, who broke into the first team. So it's getting the balance right. It's always about getting the balance right. If you can have an open mind in terms of the markets that you look in, and your ability to find players in different markets, clearly that gives you better possibilities. But for us, we still want to make sure that we are bringing our own players through our own system. We have an academy that we're very proud of, and I think our record of producing players speaks for itself. So we're not going to dismiss that either. We want to continue to develop our own players. We want to bring players in from the domestic scene as well. But it's also important that we're able to look outside of that as well, because when you're working in football and if you like, the margins become smaller and smaller, you've got to be looking for the edge wherever it is. So recruitment's a very big part of it, and for me as a manager, it's always good to get your first players in, your own players in. So I'm very pleased to welcome both players to the club, but of course they have to adhere to the conditions that everybody works in, and that is people need to perform to earn their place in the side, and that competition is healthy, and it's important to try and source the right types of players.
Nigel.
Hi.
Neil Barker from AP.
How you doing?
So you're not expecting this club to be some kind of stepping stone for, a conveyor belt of Thai players to come here and get a taste of Europe. You expect the club to retain a local flow?
We need to. I've already used the word balance, and it's about getting the balance right. So no, I don't expect it to be a conveyor belt, and I think though that sort of terminology is a little bit, possibly a little bit. I understand the question, but for me, it's not something that is in my consciousness. It's about us utilising the different markets, and because we now have we're trying to develop the club on lots of different levels, and in terms of recruitment side as well, it's important that we're able to, as I've already pointed out, look in different markets. So I don't want people to feel that all of a sudden it's going to be a huge influx. That's not what it's going to be about. It's more about us trying to find players who enhance what we already have. And that's what we have in two players sitting up here today.
You've been here a few months now. I mean, what's the potential of this club?
There is a lot of potential, but I suppose if you look in most second leagues throughout Europe, the aspirations of many clubs in those divisions would be to get into the top flight. So for us, our own immediate aspirations are to try and find a way of getting into the top flight. But of course, with the way that the league is formatted here, that's quite a difficult task. But we feel that if we get the foundations right in terms of how we structure the football club, so what's already here is very, very good, but we need to try and make sure that what we do gives us the best opportunity. And of course, the squad is one of the most important things in that. If not, well, it is the most important thing in that. So to develop the squad over a period of time means that you've got to be able to produce a team that's capable of achieving the success. But for sure, what we've got here in terms of our stadium and the training facility, which has been, had a lot of investment already, and will have further investment over the next few years. We're trying to make sure that the club is in as good a position as possible to make that step up. But of course, the only way you can do that is by achieving results on the football pitch. And to do that, we need to continue to develop the squad. We feel we have a number of players here already and a very competitive squad here. And our last performance would bear that out. But of course, it's about consistency, and it's about being able to produce enough performances, back-to-back performances, to allow you to be in a strong position. So, this year is a bit of a mixed bag for us. We finished second in the first half of the season, and we're currently sitting in third place with quite a bit to do. So, we're realistic in terms of how we see our season so far. And of course, we still have an outside chance of achieving our goals this year. But if that doesn't happen, we've got to be in a position where our squad is better placed to make a sustained push at promotion. And of course, adding quality players is what it's about. And it's not about a total rebuild. It's about how we add to what we already have.
How much have you seen of Kevin, and what's he going to bring to this?
Well, I mean, I've seen plenty of footage for sure, but again, Kevin's moves is slightly different. It's been facilitated clearly by our owners, but I mean, to have the opportunity to bring in an experienced international is good for us, and I think we have to look at it in it's a slightly different situation to a lot of other signings. So I don't have a great deal of knowledge of the Far East market, but having said that, a player with his a track record in terms of the captaincy of his national side, number of appearances. We're getting a player that we know will bring us good competition in a area that we already have some strong competition. So I mean, the challenge for Kevin is to be able to deal with that competition himself. But I know he's very much looking forward to the challenge, and as he's already spoken about it, it's been an ambition of his for a long time to play in Europe. So I think the challenge for him is very, very clear, and we're very pleased to have him.
Nog andere vragen? Other questions? Milan?
At least one question about Mr. Kehli.
Yeah. For me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Last weekend we played actually with a midfield with only players who are used to play with an offensive mindset.
In what, sorry?
An attacking mindset.
Offensive mindset.
Offensive
Yeah.
mindset. So
Yeah.
is that maybe the way to beat this really defensive teams in the Proximus League?
Straightforward answer. You need quality. You need players who are able to do the job. I mean, if you look at how we're at home, so I think there's a more emphasis on us to be an attacking force. But I'm a big believer in even your offensive players need to have an understanding of what we do when we don't have the ball, and I think Sammy certainly has that, and I've got no qualms at the fact that we need to get the balance right between being an attacking force, but also to win tight games, you've got to have an understanding of how to defend as a team as well, and attacking players certainly need to have that game understanding. He certainly has that. If you look at the 3 previous games we played against Union, 1 goal in 3 games, and that we scored that. So 2 0-0 draws and a 1-0 victory for us. It was going to be, I think, we always felt it was going to be quite a tight game, but as it turned out, we started the game exceptionally well, and so created a lot of goal scoring opportunities. So that's a bit of a bonus for us. But if we're going to make progression during this season, for sure we've got to make sure that we win enough of our own games. But of course what you can't do is you can't just have a gung-ho attitude in terms of saying it's all out attack. You've got to be able to function as a team when you don't have the ball as well, and I think it's important for players to understand their roles and responsibilities in the game. Our performance and result was what we needed, and Sammy certainly played his part in that.